Hey guys, welcome back. Now, this was a big week in crypto as the US senators were battling it out over a key piece of legislation. The anti-crypto SEC has basically blocked US banks from being able to custody crypto. And let's be honest, Biden is clearly anti-crypto, with Gary Gensler being his front man doing his dirty work. But then the same week, Trump has come out and said he is now crypto friendly, and if you want crypto, you'd better vote for Trump. And so now it's pretty clear. If you want crypto prices to skyrocket, then you can either vote RFK Jr. or Trump. And if you want crypto to continually get suppressed with litigation after litigation after litigation, then vote Biden. Anywho, in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the latest crypto market and see how it's progressing amidst all this noise, including the latest price action. We'll see if we are still on track and what may be coming next. And then we'll finish, as always, with the biggest developments over the past 2 weeks in crypto. Okay, so first up, let's take a look at the latest price action and see what may be coming next. So jumping in and taking a look at the latest price action for Bitcoin, what do we see? Well, for me, nothing much has changed really ever since the halving. On the day of the halving, we had this nice move from 65,000 testing the 60,000 line. And then since then, it's pretty much been bouncing in this trading range between 60,000 and 70,000. And I personally think it's still digesting the move that happened after the launch of the Bitcoin ETFs, where we saw a massive run, 92%, so it almost doubled in such a short period of time. And this is how fast the crypto market can move when it really wants to. So I don't really feel bearish. I know it can jump from 60 to 80 in a very short period of time. And as you'll soon see, when we compare it to the previous market cycles around the time of the halving, then volatility up and down, it going sideways, it fading down, even a flush out. These are all the things that have happened before. So latest price action just says to me we are still on track. Now, hopping over to seasonality so we can get a different perspective. And the great thing about this is that it just gives you the price. All the noise, all the litigations, all the developments, all the arguments, all the opinions get flushed out and you just get hard numbers. So the talking point of the last 6 months is that Bitcoin had gone through this crazy run going back from September, where it had 7 green months in a row. So in April, we did get a nice correction month. And as you can see, very, very common and probably much needed to digest this big move. So when it comes to this month, it is back in the green. And the other thing that I look at is the previous halving years. So obviously we just had one 2024. So the last halving year being 2020. And you can see we've got a double correction months here. We've got a correction month here, correction month here. So in the halving year, it's very common to have a correction month and maybe even 2. And going back to 2016, started the year with a correction. We've got another one here and we've got a double one here. So that's the other thing that I'll keep an eye on. If history repeats, we may get a double month, which may come this month if we get a further drop. And there's probably going to be another couple of single correction months to come. So looking at seasonality, again, it backs up that everything is still on track. Now we take a look at a good snapshot of the previous cycles to get another perspective A great chart showing pretty much everything you need to know in the crypto market in one place. And again, because it's a big picture view, it just scrubs out all these daily moves up and down, which can freak people out. So it's a little bit hard to see here. So let's just blast through one by one. Going on 2012, this is the 2012 cycle, and around the time of the halving, you can see lots of sideways consolidation. We are still above, so it's saying that it's, if anything, it's ahead of track, and we could still see another couple of weeks or a month of sideways consolidation. So still on track. Compared to 2016, and this one is the one that is most correlated to. Eerily similar, massive run here, building up to the halving, correcting down into the halving, sideways consolidation, pretty much tracking it right on track. And this time there was a flush out, which happened probably around this time or over the next week or two, bringing it down from a 4x down to a 3 times increase before going on the big run. So again, what we're seeing right now is pretty much exactly what's happened in the past. And then finally, 2020, first thing we see, we are noticeably ahead of this cycle. Even if we just take out what happened with COVID, the massive COVID crash, if we just wipe this out, we are still ahead, sitting at a 4 times increase from the bottom versus a 3 times. So the equivalent, if we were here, would be a Bitcoin price of about 45,000. So the fact that it's 60 plus, it says we are still looking strong despite this 24% correction. So again, looking at this analysis, it says to me we are still on track and getting closer to a potential big move. Getting closer to the potential big move. And getting closer to the potential big move. So things really starting to heat up. On to the biggest developments. And one of the things this week was the House votes to nullify the SEC's anti-crypto banking guidance SARB 121. And this basically was brought in by the SEC, and it pretty much blocked the banks from being able to custody crypto. So again, the SEC showing their hand that they are anti-crypto. And I think if you go upstream, this is just coming from the Biden administration. And in fact, the Biden administration even came out and said if this goes any further and gets put on the president's desk, he's going to veto it, basically block it from happening. So proof that Biden and his frontman Gary Gensler do not like crypto. However, there are many senators, including Democrats, that do. So the battle is on. Next, we saw Bitcoin payments app Strike rolling out into Europe. So potentially tens of millions of users there. We had the ETC group, which is in Germany, and they launched a spot liquidity Bitcoin ETP. And then, good to see, they also launched an Ethereum staking ETP, exchange traded product. So it appears that countries all around the world are Bitcoin friendly and Ethereum friendly. This is in Germany, we had Hong Kong, we've got the UK launching theirs in a couple of weeks. However, it looks like the Ethereum ETF in the US is going to get denied. But as we saw earlier, with Biden and Gary Gensler at the helm, this is always going to happen. Now, one of the big developments of the past couple of weeks was all the 13F filings that we get to see. And we have seen so many developments of companies, institutions, corporations getting into the Bitcoin ETFs. So, Bank New York Mellon getting exposure to the Bitcoin ETFs. We saw insurance giant getting exposure to the Bitcoin ETFs. We had the Rothschild, huge, massive banking family getting exposure to the Bitcoin ETFs. We had US Bank getting exposure to the Bitcoin ETFs. We had a huge $500 billion asset manager getting exposure to the Bitcoin ETFs. So this is massive developments going on with Bitcoin leading the charge. Also, more developments. We saw Morgan Stanley will soon be allowing brokers to pitch the Bitcoin ETFs. Bitcoin itself has hit a couple of massive milestones. So Bitcoin just reached 1 billion transactions. So despite what Gary Gensler said, this is becoming a big deal. And what's the value of these transactions? Has it been $1 trillion? Has it been 10 trillion? Well, how about Bitcoin breaking above 100 trillion of value settled? So that is pretty cool. We had Coinbase integrating Bitcoin's Lightning Network. So this just means that people are going to be able to send, receive Bitcoin in under a second for about a cent. Massive development just right there. We had Stripe, another payment company, bringing back crypto payments, this time with a stablecoin. And just Stripe alone had volume of over $1 trillion last year. So this is huge in itself. As you can see, the last couple of weeks has gone pretty crazy. However, to finish, this is the chart of the week, and it shows a very important factor in the crypto market, which is liquidity. And after growing at about 5% a month, we saw COVID bringing this up to about 20 to 25% growth, a massive pullback. Then we've just had this big tightening cycle where M2 had gone negative. However, very exciting times, as the big question is, with this positive month now on the map, does this mean liquidity is coming back? And weirdly enough, as we saw from the market cycles where we see these big moves coming, it's all starting to line up. So a very exciting time to be in crypto. This week was a big week in crypto as US senators were battling it out over a key piece of legislation. Biden and Gensler are clearly anti-crypto, and the best bets are going to be RFK Jr. and Trump. Price is still consolidating between 60,000 and 70,000. Seasonality still looks healthy after a big correction month, but all is still on track. When comparing against the previous cycles at this point, again, all is still on track. And if history repeats, then the big move will be coming soon. And as you saw, there's still plenty of developments going on all around the world in just the past couple of weeks. And finally, it does feel like there's so much noise and energy being built up in the crypto market at the minute. However, with everything still on track, I remain optimistic. And it does feel like a big move will be coming soon. However, the big question is, will it be breaking higher or lower? Let me know below. However, just remember, to get rid of 100% of the comment spam and trading bots that plague YouTube comments, we are trying out the new SuperThanks Commenting system. So to get your question or comment read and replied to, or just to say thanks, then use SuperThanks below. And for now, just to say, if you did enjoy anything in the video, then drop a like, and a big thank you to everyone who does, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.